Check it out. Listen, this is probably the first time I've done an episode in about 2 months. But if you tuned in before, you know that this is the I'm Not a Hater podcast featuring your favorite not hater, Mr. Brown. Check it out, man. I just jumped on here really to say it's been 2 years since I started. In that 2 years, I've done a lot of episodes. Some you may remember, some you probably don't. A lot of shorts, a lot of 30-second clips. But I wanted to get on just to kind of explain why I made the pivot from doing what they would call a long form type of episode to shorts. All right, so when I first started out, had no clue, no idea what I was really doing. Just knew that I was going to do a podcast because people thought, the first couple clips I put online was funny. I figured I'd just come on and be funny, be what people call rude. What was it they called me? It was some kind of like funny and rude kind of thing. I don't know. People still say I'm that, so I guess that's what I do. I don't really do it on purpose, but that's another story. But I figured I would just come on and be that type of person on the internet, whatever. Talk about different topics, give my own spin, blah blah blah, etc. Time passed. I started doing political stuff. I started doing stuff about education. Um, you know, family, asking for money, love, what have you. I talked about it all. And then one day I realized like I was getting more views from the actual clips that I clipped up and put out than I was actually my actual episodes. No matter where I shared it, whether it was Facebook, Instagram, even Twitter. Well, Twitter helped me get a lot of X helped me get a lot of views, but I made the pivot because I realized what I could say in 10 minutes, I could say in 30-second clips for each day of the week and get some views that way. And for the most part, it's been working. I will say that. I felt the need to do this episode or this brief episode because I hadn't done one in a while. I felt like, I could explain where I've been, what I've been doing, etc. And if you a fan of the channel or subscribed already, this will give you an insight to who I am, what I am, and all of the above. Where I've been. Basically, listen, I work and that's pretty much it. I have a boring life outside of that. I jump on, I do these videos for everybody out there. And then I'm pretty much quiet after that. I don't have a huge presence. I'm not trying to be online every single day, but with posting the shorts and everything that comes with the territory. So I have to, in some instances, step outside of my shell where I would rather be just low key and behind the scenes. I have to kind of be out front and be on the internet for every day. Um, I made the pivot, like I said a couple seconds ago. I made the pivot from doing these long form episodes or these 5 to 10 minute episodes to just doing clips. It just was a lot easier, less time consuming to have to come up with things, talk about different topics. You could just pick one and just go. And, will I ever come back to doing, the 5 to 10 minute episodes? Maybe. I don't know. It all depends. I was gonna try to get a co-host, but then I said that requires me to have to actually um, go look for one and try to link up and make sure the chemistry is there and all that type of stuff. I'd be somebody else's co-host. I'm open to that, but me having one, I don't think so. But things could change. Like anything could happen. But just right now in the presence, I probably wouldn't have a co-host. I'd probably just continue to do this by myself when I get the itch or whatever. But I haven't really. I mean, everything in the world seems to be the same. Gas prices are high. Trump is still being Trump. Sports is what it is. Um, you know, music, culture. I could talk about all that stuff, and I do from time to time. If you check the shorts on the page, you'll see that I talk about everything from, not just motivation and positivity, because I could talk about that all day, but I do talk about culture and things that's going on in politics. And some of it is met well, and then there's people who get on the internet and try to troll and say nasty things, but it is what it is. That's what people do. There's some people who do that, some people who listen to the whole thing, and then there's some people who hear one part they don't like, and then that's what they go for. So that's pretty much what I do, man. That's pretty much what I've been doing. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of get on here and explain that for people who, um, may not understand or may not know. They just see me in a quick 30-second blurb, and then, well, who is this guy? I'm just I guess you would say, a small time content creator who is trying, to spread his message one person at a time. Really, that really sums it up. And I always try to be. This channel is not going to be where you come and get a bunch of negativity. That's not where you're coming for. Optimism, positivity. You get your little news here and there, current events. Get some music reviews if I decide to. You get a lot. It's a something for everybody. And that's kind of where I go. Now I probably will do my usual form of episodes around this time. So within the next couple months or so, you'll probably get like a back to school joint that I do for the parents, to kind of help them understand, kind of like do's and don'ts for the school year, or at least the first couple days. I'll probably get my son on here. We probably talk about how his first week of school was. We'll do some stuff, and that may or may not. We'll see. It's all up into interpretation of how things go. At that point, I'm just really on here because, listen, I didn't want people to think like the whole channel was just 30-second blurbs. It can have some episodes to it. As you can see, I'm sitting right here. This, again, first time in 2 months. I think the last episode I did was about Easter in the Black church. And, it got received well, but, I took a break. And I just started focusing on doing the 30-second videos. And who knows? Those may be better than the long form in the end. I don't know. But I'm trying everything I can right now to, I guess, be in the algorithm, as they would say. And that's pretty much is what it is, man. I don't want to hold y'all too long. If you watch this, please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. I'm Not a Hater podcast, okay? That's really what this is called. I'm not a hater, but, sometimes I care, sometimes I don't. It depends on what it is. This time, I actually care. But with all that being said, man, peace and love. I hope everybody out there is doing well. It is summertime, so hydrate yourself, stay cool, mind your business, and, be the greatest you that you could be, in all honesty. Peace and love, though. I'll talk to y'all soon.